It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Friday, the 23rd of May. I'm Michael Groff, heading into the holiday weekend with temperatures remaining just a little bit above seasonal averages, but nothing absolutely crazy out of bounds for our part of the world. Actually, daytime highs will be a little bit lower tomorrow and Sunday, and then warming up a bit as we go into next week. But just how warm will they get? Well, that is a bit in doubt, and there is a little bit of forecast uncertainty to talk about as well. We'll do all of that and everything else as we dive on in and discuss. But before we do, it is Friday, and that means it's Photo Friday here. That's where we take a look at some of the photos and or videos that you guys have submitted. First up, David Parnell. And once again, high school sports, although this time being played at ASU's stadium there. I believe these were the 4A championships that were going on. At any rate, it was not bad. Of course, be a little bit warm, but I believe this is David's final game that he'll be attending for high school sports for the year. Of course, as the school year is wrapping up, he'll probably still have some photos for us over the summer that he's taken throughout the year or something. I don't know. And then the school year will start up before you know it again. So it's always great to see David out and about all around the valley, all around the state, taking pictures for us. We really do appreciate that. And then this is from Miles Sampson out there in Southern California. This is his cat, Pepper. And Pepper's just doing what cats do, and that's just kind of lounging around. And then sometimes, you never know. You never, just like the weather in Minnesota, you never know what's going to happen. 1 minute they're asleep, the next minute they're in the pantry. Well, as a cat owner, I've, off and on throughout my life, and of course now we here at Studio B, the one and only Michelle and I have Freya. And Freya looks, as you know, somewhat similar to Pepper and behaves somewhat similarly as well. Although Freya doesn't get in the pantry, but yeah. And if those of you wondering, is this weather related? Of course not. This is Photo Friday, and we oftentimes veer away from weather related stuff. Sometimes we forego all that because anytime you send us pictures of your dogs, your cats, food, anything like that, it's going to get on these videos. Speaking of Freya cat, Michelle sends in this. This is Freya just taking a nap at some point in the week. And then checking out the flowers out front and checking out the mint and everything that's going crazy out in the backyard. We also have some weeds that are going crazy back there too. But we've gotten rid of a lot of the weeds, and now the oleanders, the Mexican heathers, the mint, the gardenias, everything is going crazy. Oh, the daisies, yes, all that's going crazy out in the backyard. And then this is from, I believe this is from Pamela, and this is Liberty Lake, Washington. So yes, going outside of Arizona, and that's the other thing here on Photo Friday. We don't just focus here on Arizona. You can send in your pictures from anywhere across the country. We even have international photos. Zane down in Brisbane, Australia sends in photos from time to time. So that's Photo Friday, and that's not all we've got. We've got some other strange phenomena to take a look at. This guy here, this is Steve. What is Steve? Steve is strong thermal emission velocity enhancement. It's sort of a cousin of Aurora Borealis. Now, in Aurora, you've got these electrons and protons that accelerate as they hit the magnetosphere. They create those auroras, the coronal mass ejections from the sun. But this is sort of a similar sort of thing, except instead of protons and electrons, this is gas. And these shafts of light are created as a result of that. And Elijah also has a picture. This one is from David Nielsen. And, he said, I know some people won't believe it, or some people will think, he said, I saw it. I know I saw it. And you know what? I have never actually seen this phenomenon myself, but I have seen this a number of times. And of course, if you go on social media, they'll always say, it's HAARP. Yeah, it's the chemtrails. It's they're manipulating the weather. All the nut jobs over there that believe that this is some sort of weather manipulation. It is not. It is space weather. And then Elijah sends in pictures of the same phenomena, except David's was taken up at the Pin Shot Cabin, and then this is from Surprise from Elijah. So, again, always appreciate these kinds of pictures. This is why we do it, Photo Friday. Each and every week, you want to send in your photos or videos. groffshow@gmail.com is my email address. It's groffshow@gmail.com for Photo Friday. And thanks to Steve, our outer space visitor, for checking on in. It's not dangerous. It's just gases. It's just stuff messing with the electromagnetic field around planet Earth. All right. Let's get into it here. More of the science nerdery that we do every day. Almanac from yesterday, and it was a hot one. 106 degrees the afternoon high, 74 the morning low. The National Weather Service posted this yesterday, and people thought that they were fear-mongering for some reason. I don't know why posting the temperature is fear-mongering, but if you are scared of that kind of a temperature, I think it says more about you than it does about them. Anyway, 97 and 71 are the averages for this time of year. And social media is just a dangerous place. I mean, sometimes I realize the irony of saying that while I'm talking to you guys on YouTube, but sometimes I do wonder if planet Earth, if human beings would be better off without social media. Taking a look outside right now, here at about 1 o'clock, we've got sunny sky. 99 degrees at Sky Harbor, but it is just bone dry. Dew point's 24, humidity 7%. The winds are light. The barometer is steady. Satellite picture out here across the west. What's going on? Well, it's more the same. High pressure has been in control, and as a result, not much going on. We had some clouds come on through here yesterday, but now basically clear sky across most of Arizona, and that will continue. We will see some clouds coming in here over the weekend, but again, not a whole lot in terms of sensible weather. Some afternoon breezes, some weak areas of low pressure will be around to the west or northwest of us periodically throughout the forecast period, but that's going to be about it. Watch warning map is relatively quiet. A flood watch for parts of Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, and Arkansas. Convective outlook for today. Got that standard slight risk of severe storms. That's level 2 out of 5 for parts of the southern and central plain states. Also a little sliver of a marginal risk for the Gulf Coast, parts of Louisiana, near the Sabine Pass. And over portions of Florida, risk of thunder north of Arizona as well. But of course, around here, things are quiet. But in the East Pacific, the National Hurricane Center continues to monitor what could be an area of disturbed weather that may form into a tropical cyclone, a tropical depression or storm. Now they're giving that a 70% probability to develop over the next 7 days down there off the coast of Mexico. We always watch these features. Will it have any impact on our weather? Almost certainly not, but it is certainly interesting to talk about, especially here just before the start of hurricane season, which is the 1st of June. We're just a little over a week away from that. So, hey, maybe hurricane season gets us started a little early out there in the East Pacific. All right, precipitation outlook around here. This is valid through Friday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix, nothing statewide, nothing region-wide, not much. Again, main storm track stays to the north of us. We're in the heart of the dry season. The same stuff I tell you every day, why it is so dry. That's just the way it goes around here. But will we see any changes in this pattern? Are there any wrinkles, anything to look forward to? Well, we'll talk about it right now as we get to the models, have a look at things. This is the GFS, the 12Z run, valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. All right, we've got our trough over the northeast. But around here, it's a dry west or southwesterly flow. A little weak wave is to the north and west of us. And again, we may see some high clouds over the weekend. But generally speaking, down at the surface for the rest of the afternoon today, sunny sky, high temperatures 100 to 104 degrees. For tonight, skies are clear, lows mid-60s in the cool spots, low to mid-70s in the urban core. And then tomorrow, mostly sunny sky and high temperatures should top out probably somewhere in the mid to upper 90s. Now, we might start to see some clouds coming in by the afternoon hours tomorrow. It may actually turn partly sunny by later in the day, but still, that's not going to really do much to slow down the heat. Temperatures will drop a few degrees, but nothing substantial. Sunday, mostly sunny, mid to upper 90s. For Memorial Day, things are fairly quiet here. Temperatures upper 90s to about 102. And that's pretty much where we're going to keep things for a while next week. We'll see some degree of low pressure sitting off to the north and west of us, undercutting a broader ridge that ultimately will develop out here across the west. And at some point, there may even be a cutoff low that develops well off the California or northern Baja coast next week. But again, in terms of implications on our weather, probably minimal to none. And temperatures are just going to hold somewhere in that upper 90s to about 103 degrees here for the lower desert. Same thing Wednesday, same thing Thursday. Temps should hold generally over most of southern Arizona from about 98 to 103, with a few spots perhaps a bit warmer than that, particularly over southwest Arizona, southeast California, the hottest deserts there, maybe a few degrees warmer. All right, let's keep it going. This is a week from today, Friday, the 30th of May. And now we've got a pretty impressive ridge building in here across much of the west, nosing up into western Canada. You see that upper low is off to the west of us. There's relatively decent agreement as to how this plays out. The other thing that's evident here, now you can't see it on this view. It's kind of cut off on the bottom of your screen there, but we'll show you this. A tropical cyclone is favored to develop by most of the global ensembles, and that's why the National Hurricane Center has that higher chance of development down there off the Mexican coast. This will be south of the Baja. This, again, should have no meaningful impact, or probably no impact at all, on our weather. But of course, as always, we watch these things. Kind of an interesting early start to the hurricane season down there. This is Saturday, the 31st. And again, high pressure is in control here over the southwest. Got an upper low over the southeast. And if that verifies, I mean, look, you got upper heights coming up to around 591 to 594 decameters, going out 10 days. Sunday, the 1st of June. Now, the good news is, after a couple of very hot days next Friday and Saturday, if the GFS verifies, we do see a short wave that would temper the ridge, knock the heights down a little bit, so temperatures would drop several degrees. Now, I will say, this solution off the GFS is probably a little overdone. I'm not totally convinced that we're going to see 110-degree temperatures next Friday and Saturday, at least not quite yet. I'd like to see more consistency on the models for that. There's some spread that really kind of grows out here. Nevertheless, a warming trend is likely for the end of next week and going into that following weekend, just in time for the start of meteorological summer. So we will see here. Looking at rainfall for Phoenix, this is off the GFS ensemble out through the 6th of June. The ensemble mean here, 200ths of an inch. We're not really looking for any chance of precipitation. This ensemble, there's 31 members in the GFS ensemble. Most of them don't show any precipitation. 51 members in the European ensemble, again out through the 6th of June. Precipitation here, the mean is about 1/100th of an inch. So again, we're not looking at any noteworthy chances, or even any significant, any meaningful, or even anything above about a 0.5% chance of seeing any real rainfall around here for the next couple of weeks. Of course, we'll let you know if that changes. Temperatures off the national blend of models. Ooh, it is toasty around here, but this is not absolutely unheard of. This is not crazy out of bounds, just a bit above average. Again, average high for today, 97 degrees. We're above that today. And as we go through the rest of the month, the average highs get to 100 degrees by the time we get to the 30th of the month. Now, if the GFS scenario is right, yeah, we could be pushing 110. The record high for May 30th is 114 degrees, so we won't be challenging that. The record high on the 31st, I believe, is 109. So that could be in jeopardy, again, if the GFS is right. The National Blend of Models does push us toward about 107, which again is above average, but it is not like it's never been seen before here at the end of May and early June. It's just a little bit above average. Let me show you. These are the average temperatures that Phoenix has throughout the year. And you can see the end of May, 100 degrees by the 30th or 31st. And then, of course, as we go through June, those highs keep on climbing and peak at 107 degrees briefly in July. And people say, wow, Mike, it gets over 110. Again, the averages. That's what these are. These are averages. It's not 110 on, let's just say, July 10th every single year. Some years it's 102. Some years it's 104. Some years it's 99. You know, that's why we have averages. All right. Looking at the Climate Prediction Center outlook, this is for the 8 to 14 day period. And if this is right, temperatures around here would be near average, maybe a little bit above average. That's the probability here across Arizona. But look at this precipitation. Probability skewing toward above average precipitation, particularly across New Mexico and nosing into eastern Arizona. Here in Phoenix, still kind of in that near normal level. We're kind of on the fringe there. But keep in mind, this time of the year, as we go into June, again, we're in the driest time of the year. There are days here in late May and early June where there has only been measurable rain on 1 or 2 occasions on any given day. And in fact, on the 11th of June, it has never rained in Phoenix in 129 years of record keeping. It is the only day on our calendar where it has not rained. For a while, it was June 5th and June 11th, but the June 5th date was broken a few years back. So, nevertheless, we are still looking at dry conditions to continue. All right, that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here on Monday morning. But of course, updates before that if necessary. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, then be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. If you really enjoy what we do here, you want to help support the channel, great. Click that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube, make those monetary contributions to us, or even better than that, you can donate via PayPal. groffshow@gmail.com is the PayPal address. It's groffshow@gmail.com for PayPal. Or you can use Venmo. That's linked up down in the description as well. There's so many ways to support us. Please help us out. If you just want to watch these videos and click that like button and subscribe, that's cool too. Every bit, everything helps us out. I do want to say this, though, before we go any further, because, the executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my OAO. She's the sweetest of all time. She's the Asian sensation, the proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona. Michelle, her mother has been having a rough couple of months. They believe she had pneumonia. Then it's some sort of like vasculitis or whatever. But she's been having some health problems the last couple of months. And those of you that have been watching our videos for a while, you are probably well aware. We talked about it extensively in March of last year that we have been having some pretty significant financial struggles around here at Studio B. And Michelle would very much like to be able to get home and see her mother this summer. And that's in Boise, Idaho. And of course, so we're trying to build up some funds for that. So if any of you want to help us out, it's been tough. Now we're going to have story time with Mike here. We're going to talk about a lot of what's gone on, and why we're digging out of quite a big hole, and we will dig out of it, but it's, if you guys want to help us out, that would be great. It has been a rough, roughly 16 months for us here at Studio B, and for various reasons. But if you can help out anything, that would be greatly appreciated. And again, we'll talk about it. I know it's a weather video, and it's but this is my channel, and this is I was going to do my other content. I have about 3 or 4 different YouTube channels, and I was just going to do more of my podcasting and broadcast stuff on this channel, and I was going to have a different channel for weather, but it just sort of all worked out that I did the weather stuff on this one. So, but either way, any help that you can give to this channel, that would be greatly appreciated. All right, anyway, as I mentioned, Michelle is the proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org, the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona. Do check out her blogs, her videos, everything Michelle related. More than likely, you'll also see Adriana related stuff. It's all linked up down in the description. Our streaming station, it is available 24/7, 365. It is called KMGX. We play a ton of music. We have a lot of fun over there. Give that a look, a listen. It'd be greatly appreciated. Other than that, please, you guys, be safe, stay cool, stay hydrated out there, watch those children around water, and have yourselves a great Friday and a wonderful weekend.